And I think it summarizes it nicely with the second quote I have here, which is by Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn says you're affected by two things: what you know and how you feel about what you know. So the Jason Fladlien way of stating it would be like this. If we wanted to relate it directly to internet marketing, it's simple. If I showed you the easiest way in the world to make a ton of money, but you were scared out of your mind to actually go out and do it, even though it was super easy, what would happen? What would be the most likely scenario for most people if I sat down and showed them the coolest, easiest, simplest way to make a ton of money, but it freaked them out when they saw themselves going out there and trying to do it? Yeah, the answer is nothing would happen. So that's not the what you know, but it's also how you feel about what you know. And if you don't feel comfortable, if you feel freaked out of your mind, you're probably not going to do it. On the other hand, if I showed you a simple way just to make a reasonable amount of money, nothing earth-shattering, but say a couple $1,000s a month, but you felt rock solid, 100% sure and confident that you could do it, and you would feel great doing it. Now what's the result? The result is, for most people, they're actually going to go out there and do it. Isn't that interesting? So it's not just what you know, it's how you feel about what you know. And a lot of this has to deal with personal development. And so many people forget that. I see people, and this is what I like to call it, they have one foot on the brake and one foot on the gas, and they're trying to go somewhere. On one hand, they're trying to do this thing, and on the other hand, I can see that unconsciously they haven't reconciled it enough to feel congruent with actually doing it. And believe it or not, that's the source of problem for many people when they try to make money online. Now, here's the conundrum. Here's where it gets tricky. Most wealth is not in your comfort zone. It's outside of your comfort zone. In fact, most wealth is barely outside of your comfort zone. It's not even that far outside of your comfort zone. But the fact is, and this is a Jason Fladlien quote from 2012, becoming wealthy is an uncomfortable process. That's the gap that we have to bridge. We have to somehow feel good enough, in spite of being uncomfortable, to expand our comfort zone, because that's where most of the wealth lies. Just directly, slightly outside of your comfort zone right now. And it's the same whether you're trying to make dollar number one or you're trying to make $10 million. I've had to learn things this year that were previously way outside of my comfort zone, that were out of my comfort zone when I began this year, and that I've slowly assimilated and brought inside my comfort zone. So when we talk about getting into that additional comfort zone area where we can expand and feel more comfortable so we can get more wealthy and get more money, there's really 4 pillars of personal growth that are going to allow us to do that. There's the philosophy that we have towards love. There's incremental improvements. There's also exponential improvements. And then finally, there's the refinement of values. Okay, and Chris asked, can you give us the examples of what you learned so we can relate? I believe I'm going to do that throughout this presentation, Chris, but an example this year of what I learned